Okay, morning of May 3rd, about 8:20. Got a late start this morning. Overslept a little bit. Not sure why, maybe needed it. Anyway, I'm on the last stretch before we hit Erwin now. It's about 6 miles. Wish it was a little closer, but hey, what can I say? Met a couple of hikers last night. Actually, I met one of them on the trail. She doesn't have a name yet. Her and a couple guys have been hiking pretty much together a lot, and we met up on the trail and then ended up in the same shelter. They're headed for Erwin too, along with a few others. Hopefully I'll be able to get myself into a bunk at Johnny's, but I don't know. I called them yesterday and they wouldn't reserve a bunk, and then I lost connection because cell service is really bad in this area right now where I'm at. Hopefully it'll get better. So anyway, I didn't even really look that close at the map. A little bit of small up and downs, mostly down. Hopefully it'll, my shin splint, if that's what it is, will bear me out so I can give it a good rest tomorrow. If I'm correct, this is the Nalachuki River that runs down into Uncle Johnny's and into Erwin. I'm only maybe a mile or so from town now. Time for a break. This is a short wrap-up of the last couple of days. I'm showing you right now what my ankle looks like. Swollen all to hell. Don't know why. The doctor doesn't really know why. Shouldn't be swollen. He's thinking it's some kind of a soft tissue infection. But anyway, this wrap-up is from when I got to Erwin at Uncle Johnny's Hostel. And it covers a couple of days, and we'll be covering a couple more. So as I was talking about how this is a wrap-up for yesterday and today, I got into Uncle Johnny's at fairly early. I only had about 6 miles to go, so I was at the hostel by about 10:30, and first off, I was surprised to find out that my box that was supposed to be forwarded from Standing Bear did not show up, and it had been over a week, so I think they screwed up somewhere. So I'm going to have to call them tomorrow and find out what the hell's going on there. It's not that the food and that is all that important, but it's got one of my asthma inhalers in it, and I went through a lot of trouble to be able to get enough of those to get through the trail without having to deal with pharmacies and stuff, so I'm kind of pissed over that. I ended up, due to the extensive hiking I was doing, ended up with the start of a shin splint, and there was questions about it being even a stress fracture, because I do have histories of having those. And so I went to the doctor this morning, which is actually the 4th now, not 3rd, and I took a 0 to have give my shin and my ankle a chance to recover. So I went to the doctor because it was actually getting worse and looking worse in the morning. And so the hostel is a cool place because they are chauffeuring me around free of charge, which is really cool. Saves a lot of money because Erwin is a spread out town. And so anyway, the doctor's definitely, he took x-rays and no shin splint, or no stress fracture, but I do have a shin splint. But he doesn't know why the swelling of the ankle, so he's calling it a soft tissue infection. And he was looking at some scratches I had on my leg from where I fell, and yeah, it drew blood, but I don't really understand why that would affect only one ankle and nothing else in my body. So I'm kind of hesitant about his diagnosis on that, and he really kind of sounded more like he was running some guesswork. I told him I'd been icing it and keeping it elevated, you know, following the rice rules. The only thing I hadn't done is really wrap it up and keep it compressed or anything. But it seems to be getting worse. It doesn't hurt. The ankle doesn't hurt. The shin does when I'm walking, but the ankle itself doesn't, and that's kind of weird. So anyway, he gave me some antibiotics, and I decided that, well, he told me that I should stay off of it, you know, not do any more hiking for a day or two. And so I'm taking another 0 day tomorrow, which will be, what, good question, Saturday? Sunday. I'm always losing track of my dates. Tomorrow's Saturday. But I will go down to downtown. Erwin is having a little hiker fair, and so I'm going to go down to that tomorrow, even though I shouldn't be walking around, because I managed to get around yet. You know, I hit the stores and go out for food and that. And then keeping an eye on my ankle. As far as Sunday goes, then I'll see where I'm at. I may end up going back to the doctor if things are still looking worse, because now it's starting to actually show like there's signs of bruising on the top of my foot. You can see some discoloration, redness, and it's not just redness like burning. I mean, it's like a, you know, like a bruise or blood collecting, something like that. So anyway, the one good thing about all this is that it's supposed to start raining, 40% chance of rain tonight, 80% tomorrow, and then throughout the week it kind of jumps around a bit. So I will miss having to hike in the rain, at least tomorrow, and find a place to stay. But I'm gonna have to cut my mileage back. I've been doing 20 plus miles a day, and now I'm gonna have to cut them back to, I don't know, maybe I was thinking around 15, but I might even have to cut them lower than that because of the way things are going. The other interesting thing today happened was that my buddies Matrix and Ghost, who went back to Gatlinburg from Standing Bear, they showed up today on my doorstep. Literally, they walked right into my room. I got a message from Ghost saying that they were in town and wanted to know where I was, because they'd been trying to track me on the trail and had little luck finding me. People kept telling me, yeah, I was there, but I just kept going, and so nobody knew where I was. They just knew I was further down the trail, and I was traveling faster than they expected, so I was giving them a run for their money. It was kind of funny, actually, when I heard about it. But we both ended up in the same town, and they took a day off, and I was here taking a day off, so we got together and been sitting here BSing and that. They just went out now. It's I don't know, starting to get a little dark out, so it's probably getting close to 8 o'clock or so, maybe a little after. And we went out to dinner and that, and then they came back to the hostel where I'm at, because they had planned on actually heading out this afternoon and do some hiking, but reminiscing and talking about different things we've run into on the trail that were so similar that they just went out now to pitch their tents, and then they're going to come back and shoot the bull some more. And they should probably be taking off then early in the morning. They were talking like doing 5 miles. I know that they're not going to stop at that. They'll take off and do probably at least 15, if not 20. So I'll be playing catch up with them for a change. They were trying to catch me for the last week, and now I'm going to be trying to catch them. So it'll be interesting. So I'm going to be at least a day to 2 days behind them. And since I'm not going to be able to travel as fast, because the shin splint still bugs me when I'm walking normally, and of course when I get going downhill it's even worse. So anyway, that's where we're at for yesterday and today. Tomorrow, outside of the fair, it's probably going to be pretty uneventful. I can't get on the trail. I can't really do anything. And the next day is going to be questionable. So when I find out what I'm doing, you'll be the first to know.